It's very important to integrate the body, the mind, and the spirit when you're working on your inner work as well as your work with a relationship, especially if you want to have a conscious relationship. So the body is really important because the physical body actually takes in and works together with the emotional and the spiritual. So all three of them are integrated. So one affects the other. So it's like the twines of a rope. They're all needed and they're all intertwined. So they are all engaged. So when you work only on one of those, the other two don't get worked. And like, for example, if you work on your spirituality, then you don't do your psychological work, or you don't do your physical work. And it would be like a spiritual bypass. You would not end up deepening your psychological work. And if you work all on your psychology, then you wouldn't really understand the spiritual element that plays a part, or you wouldn't be able to feel it in your body. Or if you do all physical work and you don't do the other two, then you just get the physical experience, but you don't really have the full transformation, because really a full understanding includes the body and the mind and the spirit, the body and the mind and the spirit. So all three of them are needed for a true transformation to happen. That way, the soul has an idea or has an understanding. It can actually shift the understanding. And the actual shift happens, you can feel it in the body, it shifts in the mind, and it shifts in your the truth of what the soul knows. And when that happens, you'll notice a change in your behavior patterns, you'll notice a change in your life, you'll notice a change in your moods. So it actually transforms. So it's not just an idea that comes back, it actually transforms. You actually physically transform, emotionally transform, and you transform in your mind. Well, if you're doing that kind of work on yourself, and you're actually transforming the body, mind, spirit in yourself, and your partner is actually working on their inner work, their psychological work, their spiritual work, and their physical work, and feeling it in their body, then think about what the relationship would be like if you are more aware of when your inner critic shows up, for example, and you catch it. Or you're more aware of when your patterning shows up from your psychological history, on your object relations from your childhood. Or think about what it would be like when you have an experience of a state of existence, and your partner can understand what that state of existence is like. Your whole relationship, it develops and it gets enhanced and it shifts, and it creates an incredible journey for two. Yeah, the shadow work is very important. A lot of people tend to want to skip that part because it's hard to bring your skeletons out of the closet. But that work is very important if you really want to transform your relationship and transform your own work inside yourself as well. But the shadow work has to do with looking at the negative emotions that happened when you were young, the negative experiences. That could be fear, could be panic, could be anxiety, could be anger, shame, doubt, all of those emotions that people don't like to feel. Is really important because there's treasures in each of those negative emotions or those negative experiences. And when you actually explore those on the deeper level of feeling them in your body, experiencing them understandingly in the psychological mind, and understanding them from a spiritual point of view, they shift, and you discover a part of you that you weren't necessarily aware of before. So you have a greater understanding of who you are, and you bring that to your relationship. And your partner can bring that into the relationship as well. And the exciting part of the relationship is you understand each other. Like, I can understand my partner's issues and listen, and my partner can understand mine. without judgment and with a neutral and loving, caring space. And that creates a beautiful setting for love and relationship and connection to happen.